I live for this moment. I've been waiting for it. Those who never face adversity will never know what they're capable of. While they're turning headlines into excuses, riding the wave of the market, we're out here making our own market. I'm from Detroit, and I've been through this before. I've won in this type of market. It takes hard work, conviction, combined with my know-how that runs decades deep. This is no 9 to 5. There's no such thing as stability in real estate. If you don't have positive momentum, you've got negative momentum. There's no easy path to massive success. We work for it. We grind for it. We sweat in practice so we don't bleed in battle. We struggle on the path to success, while our competition rests in failure. This is the moment we've been preparing for. Your unfair share is within reach. Your unreal life is right there. You can taste it. It's not guaranteed, but it's right there in front of you. You've got to do the work. It's yours. And I'm here to lead you to it. It's time. Now let's go.
His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps...
There we go. Welcome, everybody. It is time to do the work, and that work starts today here on New Year's Day. And so we thank everyone for joining us this morning. We've got a lot to accomplish, and I would like to welcome, let me get the screen share down. I would like to welcome my cohort, Mr. Justin Ford, who will also be prospecting alongside us today. And Justin, we've got a lot that we're going to get to in just a second. I'm sure by now you've already fired up your Vulcan and you've got a little bit of a head start on me. If I know you well, you're going to try to make sure you beat me. I think you beat me last year, by the way. Although I think the last 5 or 6 years in a row I beat you. So you did win last year, if I remember the numbers correctly. So congrats to you on that. But Justin, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Everyone who's out there today, we've got a lot that we're going to get to. But before we do, I want to make sure that you've got all of the prospecting essentials in front of you. So let me get the screen share back up so I can show you what we're using today. And it's very important when you are heading into a mode of prospecting that you are coming to the table with tools that, of course, are going to help you with what you're doing day in and day out. There's no doubt, prospecting at a high level is certainly not for the faint of heart, especially in today's world. And what I can tell you is what you're going to witness is a lot of downtime. You're going to witness a lot of dial time. You're going to witness a lot of time that goes by where no one's answering. And I will tell you, and I know Justin would second this, that is usually the difference maker between the best and the rest. That is, without question, when most end up giving up is because, the dials get boring and, nobody else is prospecting, so why should I? And, nobody's answering today, and it just kind of perpetuates and perpetuates. So let me get my screen back up here because I want to make sure you guys can see the tools that we're using today. So first things first, if you don't already have them, make sure you get your hands on these free resources. They're up there on your screen. Everyone, the number one question that we get is, what scripts are you using today? If you just text the word scripts to 55444, that'll get you your hands on all of the scripts that you're going to see Justin and I use today, especially with the expireds. So there's some great resources up on the screen. In fact, the most popular one right now is that pricing and price reduction scripts, because today let's just call it what it is. We have to get listings priced a little better, and we have to get them reduced. And so my recommendation to you is get your hands on that. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen. And if you want our scripts, just text the word scripts to 55444. It's the word scripts plural. You'll get your hands on our scripts. The other resource on there that you see, I know a lot of you probably take advantage of, and that's the daily message. If you're receiving the daily message and you're getting value from the daily message, do me a favor, drop the number 777 in the chat. If you're getting the daily message and you guys are still getting value from those, we want to make sure that is something that you want us to continue doing every single day. I write those every morning. People ask me, Jeff, do you write those in a cadence and just have them set on auto send? No, I write them every morning. In the morning, I reflect. I've got a pretty dialed in morning routine, which includes reflecting on my previous day. And so there's a lot you can learn. By the way, there's probably a little bit of a nugget in there. There's a lot you can learn by just thinking about what you accomplished the previous day. So every morning, if you want to know how I do it, every morning I wake up and at a certain point in the morning, I think about what it is I accomplished the day prior. And I take note of what it was. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, sometimes indifferent. I make a note of it and I share it with all of you. So if you want the daily message, you can text the word morning to 55444, the same number that you use to text the word scripts to, and you see it right there up on your screen. So Justin, it looks like you're in your office. You're already dialing, my friend. So Justin, where are you coming from? Where are you coming at from today?
All right, Jeff, can you hear me okay?
That's awesome. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
So tell us, this is probably, when I think about the years of prospecting, I did the math on this, Justin. This is my 21st New Year's Day prospecting. My very first one was January 1, 2004. So this is my 21st year, I guess, 21st New Year's Day in a row. You've been at this for how long, Justin?
Can you hear me, Jeff?
Justin, why don't you tell the crew, those of you that are joining us today, why don't you give them a little bit about your background, how you started, how we met? I think it's important that everyone knows the dynamic that you and I have together.
Absolutely. Jeff, I don't know if you can hear me, but if you guys can hear me, drop a 777. Okay, so there are people that can hear me, but Jeff, I don't think you can hear me. It says very low. Okay, good. Guys, my name is Justin Ford. I have been prospecting for the last, this will be 13 years since I got into the real estate business, and I have been calling on New Year's Day for the last 13 years. And I know Jeff said he beat me the last 5 before the previous, but I think I've actually got 2 years in a row now that I'm up on Jeff. So I'm excited to be with you guys today. This is the #1 prospecting day of the year. Me and all my agents are here in the office, hitting it hard. It's a great way to start the new year and lay a strong foundation and build the habits necessary to have a big 2026.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I think, obviously, there's a reason why we picked you to run the prospecting boot camp. There's a reason why when you're at the summits and retreats and on our stage, your topic is always prospecting focus. So it's an honor to be able to not only know you, but to prospect alongside you all these years. Justin, I had somebody tell me before we get started on the dials here, I had somebody come up to me at the beginning of tour. I want to say it was sometime in October. And they said to me, I'm really concerned. I feel like phone prospecting is dead. And by the way, this isn't the first I heard of it. Through the last few years, I'm sure, Justin, you've been served ad after ad of people saying, you can make $1 million in real estate without ever picking up the phone, right? Like you've heard that, right? Yeah. And so when I think about all the techniques that can be used to prospect today, I look at #1, if everyone is starting to buy into this idea that phone prospecting is dead, then what does that actually mean? That means less people are actually doing it, #1.
Yep.
#2, when I think about the active phone prospecting and all of the technology and the AI and everything that we have today, people very much appreciate some of the more traditional techniques. People very much appreciate, today the value of a door knock, going up to someone's door today is actually more effective than I think it's ever been in the history of real estate.
Right.
So, when I'm looking at the phone prospecting as a method, and people are saying, "Oh, it's dead. It's not as effective. It doesn't work as well." What's your response to that?
Well, one of the things that I heard yesterday, believe it or not, it was a conversation with a top real estate agent and somebody who has been a part of the AI creation of AI and technology. And the one thing that this guy said was, AI is probably going to replace a lot of things, but the one thing it cannot replace is sales skills.
That's right.
Sales skills. And I think it's just natural for a real estate agent to look for the path of least resistance to get to a deal. We want to just have a deal show up in our email. We want a text to come list me. We want, to pay for the latest and greatest leads. And what we're really doing is looking to circumvent becoming a great salesperson. And what picking up the phone does, and Jeff, you always said this, was it forces you to learn how to be a great communicator and a
Yep.
great salesperson, which not only makes you great on the phones, but makes you even greater when you're in person. Because even if you had AI or a system convert an appointment for you, you still got to go convert it and get the contract signed. And so to me, you can't control a lot of the variables when it comes to technology, but what you can control is showing up every day, making the phone calls, and setting your own appointments.
So Justin, when I heard this, this kind of like it's been kind of weighing on my mind over the last year because I've seen so many solutions to do it to making a bunch of money without prospecting. And so when we started this year's Prospecting Live, we do the 2 days in Detroit in the spring and 2 days in the fall, where agents fly in from all over North America to prospect with us. When I started that, my goal was to prove to everyone in the room, and I said this from, because I'm up there prospecting from a platform and I've got a headset on and so forth. My goal was to prove to everyone that you can still make 10 contacts per hour prospecting today, the old-fashioned way with a single line, in this case Vulcan dialer. You can still make 10 contacts per hour. And so as you know, Justin, you've been to several of them. We start prospecting right at 8 a.m. and there's like a bonus session from 7:30 until 9 because the actual program doesn't start till 9. And everybody came in, and I did my accountability call and started prospecting right at 8 o'clock on the dot. We assumed the position at 7:59. And in those 2 days, starting with that early morning, in those 2 days, Justin, I averaged 11. We figured it out because we're going to go through the daily log sheet here in a second. I averaged 11 contacts per hour in those 2 days. And that was, by the way, that included prospecting from like 1 in the afternoon until 2, right? That's all. That's not just taking from 8 to 9:30, 5 days a week and averaging 11 contacts an hour. That's 2 days of prospecting. Some hours I had 15, 16, 17 contacts per hour. Take the total hours, divide it by how many hours we prospected, and Justin, it worked out to 11 contacts per hour. So anyone who thinks prospecting is dead or it's going away, I actually think it's improving. I actually think today people appreciate some of the more what would be considered traditional or old-fashioned methods. And the more agents who tell themselves that phone prospecting is dead, especially in our market, because I know you never will. We'll always be competing for the same leads, because for those that are not familiar, Justin and I are calling literally the same expireds today. I just think when people, in our market say that, well, cold calling's dead, prospecting's dead, in my mind, I'm like, keep telling yourself that. Keep telling yourself that, because the more you buy into it, the less you're going to do it. And the less you do it, well, then obviously that leaves more for everybody else. So, Justin, we're going to go through some of the tools, unless you want to add anything to that.
No, I'm getting a lot of chat notes that my earpods are not giving a great sound for people to hear. So I'm gonna work on that, Jeff, while you go through the free
Okay,
resources.
cool. That sounds good. Yeah, I can hear you just fine, but sure, yeah, do what you got to do, and I'll go through the tools that we're using today. Starting with this contact log sheet. Okay, so I have one up in front of me here as well. So this is where these are kind of the prospector's toolkit, if you will. So in the contact log sheet, today is obviously the first of the year, so we're going to put 1-1 in there. And my contacts, so we're going to go until, let's see, we'll actually get on the phones here in the next few minutes. So we're going to go till about 11:30, maybe 11:45 Eastern. So my goal for that would be, let's see, in 90 minutes, I should be able to talk to at least 15 people in 90 minutes. And my goal is going to be to generate at least 2 leads and to set at least 2 appointments. So in 90 minutes, my goal is to talk to 15 people, generate at least 2 leads, and set 2 appointments. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. I might end up with 18 contacts, 2 leads, and no appointments. It's very common, and I know Justin, would echo this, that a lot of times we prospect for days and don't set an appointment. People are like, well, you're supposed to be the expert. On New Year's Day, you didn't even set 1 appointment. It happens sometimes. But it's the conversations, it's the leads. Most of our appointments, so everyone understands this, most of your appointments from today's dials are going to come from your follow-up calls next week. You get into conversation with them today. Most of your appointments are going to come from your follow-up calls. So my goal for leads generated is 2 appointments. Goal is 2 as well. All right. So then attempts. You'll see what that takes me. That's not, you don't necessarily set a goal there. You're gonna once that's done, I'll tell you how many attempts it took. Seller appointments set as I'm going through. I'll be making notes there. Talk time. Justin, this is where I figured out how many contacts per hour. So we're going to start here in just a few minutes. And when we start, let's just say at 10:05 Eastern, I'm going to put start 10:05, and then I'm going to go until we're due for a mindset break. And I may step away and use the restroom or whatever. If I step away and use the restroom, I'm going to put end whatever time that was, and then I'm going to look at my dialer, and it's going to tell me exactly how many total contacts I had during that time. And so that's how you track your contacts per hour. And then down there at the bottom where it says for sell by owners, expired, database, lead follow-up, just listed, just sold, that is appointment set. So I'll be marking those off as I go. Obviously today is all expires. And quite frankly, today, tomorrow, the next several days, Monday, Tuesday of next week, I don't know why you would work any other source, quite frankly, for the next few days. You have plenty. I mean, Justin and I are going to call the same leads, and we're probably only going to touch base with 10% of them. That means if Justin does this again tomorrow, he could touch base with another 10%. If I do this on Saturday, I could touch base with 10% that I didn't get to today. So I don't know why you would work another source over the next several days. So we're going to stick with expireds. And then down at the bottom there, it says add to database. These are people that I have great conversations with, that it makes sense to add them to the database. So when I have great conversations with them, if they didn't set an appointment with me, but it's a lead follow-up for later, I will write that down there. Okay, that's the daily log sheet. Every day we use that document. Next, you have in front of you the seller and buyer lead sheets. For me, I'm going to use the listing lead sheet today. Obviously, we're calling expireds. So every time I have a lead generated that I need to follow up with or an appointment set, it's going to go onto that document there. Pretty self-explanatory. You see there, date, time, so forth. And then finally, we have our expired script. And you guys all have access to our scripts. Again, you can text the word scripts to 55444. That'll help you get those. And as you can see, and Justin, you're gonna hear our goal when we're prospecting is just to get into. I think you're gonna find 2 things. And Justin, feel free to add to this, please. Our goal is to get into conversation with them to break the ice quickly. Okay, on a day like today, you're going to hear us use Happy New Year. All right, so we're going to break the ice quickly with that. And our goal is to get into conversation with them about where they were going had their home sold. The more we can get into conversation with them about where they were going had their home sold, the more the rapport we're building. So it's really just having a conversation. All right. Justin, you about ready, my friend? Okay, could you guys all hear Justin? I could not hear Justin. Justin, we were hearing you before. I don't know what happened, my friend. So I pulled down the slideshow, so that means while Justin is figuring out his audio again, I'm going to pull up my dialer and get going while Justin's getting his work done on that.
Jeff, can you hear me now?
I can.
All right, guys, can you hear me? Does that sound better?
Oh, I'll get that.
Awesome. All right, good.
All right.
I'm ready then, Jeff.
All right, cool. Let's go ahead and get the dialers going. I'm hitting select all right now, and I'm going to need to call in. And Justin, just like we've done before, you get a live one. Feel free to unmute yourself. I will do the same. All right, it's 10:06 and I am off.
Please leave your message. 483902422. Please leave your message.
Justin, everyone's probably like, what's happening right now? The phones are ringing. Sometimes it takes a minute before you get your first answer.
Yes, hi, good morning, ma'am. My name is Justin Ford, and Happy New Year. I was calling about the home for sale. Is it still available? And we will get some people that say, don't call me on New Year's, bye.
Yep. We'll have just an equal number of people who answer because it's New Year's Day. Good morning and Happy New Year. Hi. Yes, this is Realtor Jeff Glover. I'm calling regarding your home here on Bird. Obviously, you're aware it's no longer listed for sale. And I was just curious, had the home sold, where were you planning on moving to? Yep, that happens. Well, what was your interest like? Did you have any offers? Did you have showings? What was the feedback like? What were people saying? Yep. Nope, we hear that a lot. Yeah. I mean, you were last listed at $399.9. Where, I mean, what was your take on why it wasn't moving? So if you could get $399 today, would you take it? Yeah. All right. Well, hey, best of luck to you. Okay. Bye-bye. Sometimes you get a few questions in. Sometimes it sounds promising.
What about the property for sale? Is it still available? Oh, okay. So this is the wrong number then? Okay. Well, here's what I can go ahead and do, ma'am. I can take you off the list, but before I let you go, is there anybody you do know looking to buy or sell here in 2026 that we can help? All right. Well, hey, thank you so much. Happy New Year, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.
Justin, I love when you ask, hey, before I let you go, who do you know, right? Like, hey, you got them on the phone. You might as well. What does it hurt?
And I always teach that even in the prospecting boot camp, because what I say is you never know that they might know somebody. And,
Yeah.
and I know you have too, and I have as well. I've set appointments and actually closed deals with people by saying that.
Now, it might be only 1 out of every 100, but still, like, if you're going to be on the phone with them, you might as well.
Jeff, people would like to know why they can't hear the client's response.
Oh, yes. So, Justin, people are asking in the chat every year, why can't we hear the client's response? That would be illegal. We would have to notify them that they are being recorded and we are using this for quality and training purposes. And so if they answered the phone and said, hi, this call is being recorded for quality training and purposes, they would hang up. So, yes, there is never a way where we will be able to share what the conversation sounds like on the other end.
So they'd like to know if you tell them what the homeowner was saying.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, yes. So, Justin, after we hang up, we'll say a little bit about where they were going, what the seller was saying, which caused us to say what we said. So, we can absolutely do that. No problem.
And this isn't a plug for prospecting bootcamp, but maybe it is. We actually review recorded calls in the class and break those down and dissect them together.
Yeah. Yeah, that's different. That's different because that's internal. That's not broadcasted, right? You can do that because we're not broadcasting it.
Yep.
So I'm about 8 minutes in, 1 contact so far, which is not, listen, you can go sometimes 15, 20 minutes without a contact. And then the last 30 minutes, you get all 8 or 10 right in that slot.
I know this is one of the things, Jeff, that agents struggle with the most is the boredom, right?
Mm-hmm.
The boredom
Yep.
aspect of just sitting here and nothing happening. And I remember early on when I started, you taught me about repetitious boredom because I would just get so bored just sitting here and nothing happening, and you just
Yes.
the discipline of that and being consistent and learning how to master repetitious boredom will create long-term success.
Yep. Yeah, it is probably the number one difference maker between high achievers and the rest. Their ability to keep doing it day in, day out, even when it doesn't feel good, even when it's boring, even when it doesn't ever seem like it's leading to anything.
Why aren't you leaving a voicemail?
So Justin, we're going to start answering some of the questions in the chat. So yeah, feel free to throw them in there. We'll get to as many as we can between dials. I can't promise we can answer all of them. But somebody asked in chat, why don't we leave voicemails? And that's because the time it takes to leave voicemails today, I could be dialing another contact. And if I know that I'm for sure going to call them again, then I don't need to leave a voicemail because I know I'm going to run through these again in the afternoon. I know I'm going to run through these again tomorrow morning. I know I'm going to run through these Saturday. So it's not uncommon, and Justin, I know you know this, it's not uncommon where, I'm calling on a property right now on McIntyre Street in Detroit. It would not be uncommon for this person to receive another 6 to 10 attempts from me over the next week. So if they're going to have 6 to 10 attempts from me, that's once or twice a day for the next 5-6 days, then there's no need to leave a voicemail because I'm just trying to catch them in the right moment. You are going to see in a minute here, when it's time for my mindset break, I take my headset off and I do some video text messages to expireds. And so that is a way that I gain a few extra contacts by sending video text messages. And you're going to see me do that live here during this session. So I'll do that when it's time for a little bit of a mindset break. I usually do a mindset break, after about an hour in, 5-7 minute break, and then I will send out video text messages.
Jeff, why aren't you using a triple line dialer?
So one of the questions in the chat is, why am I not using a triple line dialer? Well, triple line dialers are heavily scrutinized. Good morning. Hey, good morning. Happy New Year to you. This is Realtor Jeff Glover. I'm giving you a call regarding your property here on Tuxedo. Oh, have you just decided to keep that property? So you're not interested in getting it sold then? All right, just a simple don't call me again. So yeah, triple line dialers are heavily scrutinized, and so we wish to avoid those. And when I say heavily scrutinized, that would be by the TCPA. And I almost called on one of my own expireds, Justin. I hit skip right away. I should get you the address.
I have a couple that showed up as well.
All right, we'll trade those. I'll call them right now and just say, listen, you're in good hands with Justin. You call yours and say you're in good hands with Jeff. We'll trade a few.
There we go.
And that's the great thing about expireds. It's not that you need to necessarily be a better agent than the first agent. You just need to be the second one to say the same things. Isn't that crazy, Justin? How, we hear from expireds all the time. Yeah, my agent was trying to get me to reduce, and my agent was trying to get me to do all these things around the house, and I didn't like my agent because I didn't like the advice they were giving me. And then we give them the same advice, and then they take it, and the home sells. Sometimes people need to hear things in a different way or for a second time.
Where are the phone numbers coming from?
Phone numbers are coming from, I'm calling using Vulcan 7 today. So that they provide the data and the dialer. This is definitely not the sexy part of the job. You don't see too many Instagram reels about dial sessions. By the way, Justin, I found this great studio. If you're ever in, I know you come to South Florida a lot, Hollywood Beach, Florida, right off of Dixie Highway. It's a great little studio, probably 15 minutes from the airport, Fort Lauderdale Airport. That's where I'm prospecting from today.
Nice. Hollywood's awesome.
Because what happened last year, Justin, after we were done prospecting, where'd we get stuck?
On a rock. In the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
For hours.
We had to wait for high tide. Not one of my best moments. But you know what they say, a smooth sea never made for a skilled sailor. Yes, that is correct. I did miss a buoy and drive us right on top of the earth.
It was an adventure for sure.
So people are asking again pretty consistently why they can't.
Hey, good morning and Happy New Year. This is Realtor Jeff Glover. How are you? Good, real good. Just giving you a call regarding the property here on McCormick. Oh, okay. You're not the seller. Do you know who the seller is or how to reach them? Well, they live on McCormick, but the street that they're trying to sell is on Broad in Linden. Perfect. Yep, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Yep. 248-408-8880. And who will that be that I'm calling? Rhonda. Okay, perfect. Thank you. You too. Bye. So, you always ask, lesson there is you always ask, how do you reach the owner then if you're not the owner? When they say this, I'm sorry, you have the wrong number. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. Do you happen to know who owns the property on blank, blank, blank? Get the contact information from them. And now I've got an additional contact that I can call. By the way, a contact that most of the other people calling don't have, okay, because I had to ask to get it and it wasn't showing up in the dialer. So now I can call Rhonda on that particular property and turn that into a potential lead. So yeah, for people asking, we cannot, for privacy reasons, obviously share what the sellers are saying. Otherwise, we'd have to start off every call with this is being recorded for quality and training purposes. If we did that, by the way, we could do that, but then everyone would hang up and we wouldn't be able to get anywhere. So yes, we cannot broadcast what the sellers are saying. But as much as possible, we will tell you what they said to us after we hang up. Justin, what time did you guys start dialing this morning?
9 a.m.
9 a.m. How many appointments do you guys have set so far? Well, first of all, how many people are calling with you there? We should have a little contest, our team versus your team. I'll find out how we're doing so far.
We have 6 that are here.
6 people calling?
Set. How many appointments, guys? 1, 2, I think 3 or 4.
3 so far? 3 or 4?
4.
Okay. I'll find out where we're at.
I'm just giving you a call about this piece of property for sale here in Detroit.
Four so far, Justin, is what we have.
Awesome. More than enough for everybody to go around.
Yep. Just none from you or I yet. Well, see, I'm seeing in the dialer, like, I can see that our other agents have called as well. So I'm like the second or third attempt on a lot of these. Which is fine. There's a kind of a lesson in that. I'll never forget, and Justin, I know you've heard this story. Somebody that I often competed with was a gentleman by the name of Frank Felt. We were in the same office for years. And I could never understand why, I would start calling it. First of all, Frank was always in the office. Frank was always in the office, probably 7:15 every morning. He beat me in every time. But he would never start prospecting until 8:30, and I couldn't understand it. Until one day I said, Frank, you're in before me. We're calling the same leads. Why are you starting at 8:30? Why not start at 8 o'clock when I start? And he said, well, Jeff, I like for you to call at 8 o'clock, and I call them at 8:30 because then you wake them all up for me. And it's so true, because there were people, because, obviously in a sales office you see a listing board or whatever. There were people that I know that I reached out to but didn't answer for me, that answered for him at 8:40, and I called them at 8:10. And so it really doesn't matter what time you call. You're going to get results no matter what.
Jason Frito just set his first appointment.
All right. Congratulations, Jason.
Somebody said you make it sound like it's very easy to talk to them when in reality it's not.
Well, you just have to look at it as somebody said it sounds like you make it real easy to talk to them. You have to understand, you got to make it as conversational as possible. You're really just, you're coming from a place of, as long as you know in your heart of hearts that your goal is to help them out and do a better job for them than their previous agent, then there's no reason why you shouldn't really look at this as you're just having a conversation with someone that you're trying to help.
And for those, I was going to say, and for those that are listening, Jeff and I have been doing this for a very long time, so naturally it's going to sound easy because we've learned the process of it. But also, I always say, Jeff, the biggest thing I think is mindset that makes it difficult, because I think once agents start prospecting that have really never prospected before, one of the things I always hear is, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
Right.
Because like you said, it is just a conversation.
Yep. Yeah, you really got to just look at it like a conversation. What I hear, Andy Nelson set one?
Yeah.
All right, congrats, Andy. If you're setting appointments along with us, drop it in the chat. Let us know. Encourage each other. Let us know how many contacts you're at so far, how many leads you've generated, how many appointments you've set.
Looks like Robert Neely's crew, they're at 6.
All right. Robert Neely, we're calling probably the same leads. Good for you, Robert. All right, so I'm going to add I paused my dialer for a second. Justin, I'm getting a lot of vacant land. So one way you do that is you just put bedrooms and bathrooms. You set up bedrooms and bathrooms minimum. Also, if you don't want vacant land or new construction, you can put a year built of, say, 2023, I'm going to do in this case. So that way, on a day like today when there's so many of them, you want to filter out the ones that maybe you don't specialize in. Personally, I don't do a lot of vacant land. So, on a day like today when there's literally hundreds to call, I'm going to filter those out. I just put in 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, and year built maximum of 2023. So now that will eliminate essentially everything that's vacant land. Also, if you have other types of expireds that you pull into your dialer from your MLS, it might help, like commercial, for instance.
Oh, your husband's the one that's in charge and you'd like me to call him? Sure. What's his number? Oh, yeah. Were you aware, though, that your property did, in fact, come off the market as an expired listing?
You told that to someone?
It was the, oh, you're going to rent the property? Okay.
I made her stop.
She hung up. Sorry about that, Jeff.
No, you're good, man. It happens.
Kelly Fry is going to hit them at their doors in a couple hours on the west coast of Canada.
All right, yeah. Listen, the ones that we don't reach, if you're not doing anything today, just go right to their doors. I love that strategy. It's very effective.
Well, here's a good one. From experience or data, best time of day to call expireds.
Best time of day to call expireds, and Justin, you tell me if you disagree with this, but I like from 8 to 9:30. This would be a normal weekday. If it's a Saturday, I like 9 to 10:30. And then I like late afternoon, early evening, around dinner time, somewhere in that zone. That's where I find I have the most success.
Absolutely. 8 a.m.
Would you agree with that, Justin?
Time. Yeah, non-negotiable. 8 a.m. start time.
Yeah.
And then obviously, I always say just prospecting in general, 8 to 12 in the morning and then 4 to 8 in the evening. Two best, call blocks.
Yep. Yeah, there you go. Good morning and Happy New Year to you. This is Realtor Jeff Glover giving you a call regarding your home here in Northville. Yeah, there's a few of us out there working today. I'm surprised that you haven't gotten called for more. Well, obviously you know your home's no longer listed for sale, and I was just curious, what are your plans with it moving forward? Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, had it sold, where were you moving to? So you already have a place there? So it's just collecting dust and waiting on you then. Well, what was your activity like? What do you think stopped your home from selling? Showings, offers, feedback, what was that like? Yeah. Well, usually when they cite, paint in a couple bedrooms, that's easily fixable. Did you do anything while the listing was on the market to improve the way it showed from that feedback? Gotcha. So yeah, from what I can tell, it seems like you were priced right. You're in the right spot on price. I'm really surprised it didn't sell. If you don't mind me asking, how did you happen to pick the last agent you listed with? I'm sure there were some things that they did that you did enjoy. Open houses, social media. What was some of the stuff that they were doing to get it sold? Yep. Yeah, no, listen, open houses can be hit or miss. If you had a choice to give them some other things to do, what would you recommend to them? Like, what if they were still your agent, would you say, hey, I want to see this next time, or I want to see you do more of this? What would you recommend they do differently if you were to give them another chance? Mm-hmm. Yep. So are you going to take this opportunity to interview agents for the job then? Spring, yeah. Yep. No, we hear that a lot, especially, around the holidays. Everyone wants to wait till after the holidays or wait until spring. And you know what's interesting about that? Just in the last week, you're probably the 6th or 7th person that has told me that. And yeah. Oh yeah. We hear that a lot right now, obviously. And what's interesting is that if everyone is thinking waiting until spring, what do you think that'll do to listing inventory when spring finally gets here? Yeah. It'll drive it up. Yep. And so if buyers have a significant number of more choices to choose from because everyone said basically what you just said, they want to wait until spring. What do you think that'll do for your listing when you now have dozens of other properties to compete against, where right now you only have one or two? So is there any benefit of waiting in your mind? Like, why would you, are you just thinking spring because that's, when homes show better, or why are you thinking spring is best? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you see, this time of year, you're right. Homes, especially on the outside, don't show well, and your competition doesn't show well either. I mean, if it's snow covered or not, depending, even if there's no leaves on the trees, your competition looks exactly the same. So, what I'm seeing right now is a softening in the market. We're seeing a lot of listings expire. In fact, we had more listings expire today. On this January 1st, we had more listings expire today than in the last 10 years on a January 1st. And so what that tells me is that the market is obviously softer today, and you know that, you experienced that. And we have no real indication that things are going to be better in the spring. Of course, everything's kind of hinging on what interest rates do. But even if interest rates do go down a bit and you have dozens of other homes that enter the market, there's not really a huge value in waiting then. What I would recommend you do is get it out on the market now, when you have less competition and you have less sellers to actually compete with. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so then why don't we do this? At a minimum, I'd like to at least swing by, take a look at your property, give you some suggestions. Even if you still want to wait until spring, that's no problem. At least you'll have a list of things you can do to get it ready, things that'll put more money in your pocket. And if, no obligation, you don't have to sign anything. It's just, I'll swing by, take a look, give you my thoughts, and we'll go from there. Yep. Yeah, no, I can do that. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. I have your first name as Maria, is that right? So then, if it's all right with you, Marie, let's see. Today is Thursday. Why don't I swing by next week, Monday or Tuesday then, if you've still got a lot going on this weekend? The afternoons or evenings typically work better for you? Okay. I can certainly do that, and I'm going to be right around the corner from you anyways. Next Monday, the 5th. I'm looking at my calendar right now. Next Monday, the 5th. How about 4:30, 5 o'clock? No obligation. Again, just want to swing by, take a look, give you my thoughts, and we'll just go from there. And if you tell me that you still want to wait till spring, we'll wait till spring. That's no problem. Nope, no. Yeah, no, you don't have to. Listen, if you're not ready to get it back on the market, that's not why I'm coming out. I would be coming out to give you some suggestions of things you need to do to get it ready for sale. And if you decide that you are ready to go now, if it makes financial sense to do it now, I'll have everything there ready to get started. But yeah, no. Yeah, if you want to wait till spring, you can still wait till spring. I wouldn't. There's no doubt homes show better in the spring. And my concern would be you're going to be competing with dozens of other sellers who are the same sellers that I'm talking to today that are going to tell me they want to wait until spring as well. So I'll just swing by. I'll take a look. I'll give you my thoughts. Again, no obligation. If you don't like what I have to say, you can kick me out of the house. How's that sound? Okay. Monday, 4:30. Okay. Yep. And this is the best number to reach you on? Okay, good. All right. I will plan on seeing you again. My name's Jeff Glover, Glover. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh yeah, I've been around. Oh yeah. Yep. I will have some questions before I come out, so I'll call you sometime between now and Monday. But I will plan on seeing you over your property there on Northridge, 4:30 p.m. Monday. Okay? Hey, listen, have a good rest of your day and enjoy the holiday weekend while it's still here. And again, Happy New Year to you. I'll see you Monday at 4:30, but I'll call you beforehand. I'll have some questions before I come out. All right? All right. Thanks so much. Have a good rest of your day. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, listen, sometimes you get a couple... Oh, yeah, hold on. I got to... Justin, where's your horn, Justin? All right, you're next, buddy.
Okay, so a few questions.
All right, we got some questions in the chat. Let me just pause my dialer for a second so I can answer them.
So somebody said you confirmed that appointment again before you go, and then that's when you were telling her that you were going to. And so when do you call back to pre-qual the appointment?
Yeah, so I will call back to pre-qual that appointment Monday, late morning, early afternoon.
And how would the conversation, the appointment with Mary, go if it was an ISA that was calling?
If it was an ISA, I would call right away. I would not wait until Monday afternoon. So if I had somebody else calling on my behalf, I would call immediately and say, hey, thanks, Mary. You spoke to my associate, John. We're very much looking forward to seeing you Monday at 4:30. I do have a few questions before I come out. You got to get the person that they're going to be meeting with in touch as quickly as possible. Oh, Justin, you're muted. You can unmute yourself.
You were initially looking to sell it.
Mile Road, Detroit, came off the market. I was just curious if I had solar, if it was still available.
Well, I mean, if $300,000 is possible, I definitely think we could try to help you get that. What would...
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So you're just saying that, she hung up. What she was saying was her home came off the market at $210,000, and she said, well, if you can get me $300,000, I'll sell it. And I was just trying to go a little bit deeper to see if there was really any seriousness, and she basically said, I know my home can't sell for $300,000. I don't want to sell. Goodbye.
Yeah, and Justin, had she not said that, you would have probably taken it down the path of where you're going, why is it important?
Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, she wasn't letting me get that far because she was being sarcastic.
Yeah.
What are some of the pre-qual questions?
Some of the pre-qual questions. Well, first of all, you can get your hands on our scripts if you just text the word scripts to 55444. But my favorite one is, and this script's been around for a long time, so it's not like this is my original script. People have been using this for years. But my favorite question is, if what I say makes sense and you feel 1,000% comfortable and confident in my ability of getting your home sold, will you be ready to get started when I come out tonight at around 4:30 or whatever time my appointment is? But then I like to ask, there's other questions like describe your home for me. And I ask that question to really dig into their personality style. A lot of times the pre-qual script will uncover objections. And for those of you that are sticking around at 12 o'clock today, this is continuing on. There's several webinars taking place. One of them is at noon today. I'm talking all about handling seller objections at a high level. Objections that we get in person, objections that we get over the phone. Literally every single seller objection that you could get, we're going to handle. And so that's happening at noon today. I believe it's the same link, same everything. So we're taking a little break about 11:30, 11:40, and then we'll be back on at noon, and I'm giving you all of my best objection handlers and ways to handle objections today. For those of you that are just joining us, we are live prospecting New Year's Day expireds. And yep, there is a lot of downtime. There is nothing sexy about this type of work.
prequel script sounds a lot like my fairies.
Yeah, that makes sense. I spent 10 years with him.
Jeff, what was the main reason that your listing expired?
Why listing expired? Listen, we're human. We're like anyone else. We have listings that expire, and it's usually because we cannot connect well with the seller to help them understand that they need to get their price down. And so we start the conversation at the listing table. That's where the price reduction starts, and then every 2 weeks after that, we're bringing price back up again. And if they don't take our advice, and I take responsibility for it. If they don't take my advice, I look at, okay, what could I have done better to get them to take my advice? Like, clearly I was out of rapport, so much so that they weren't willing to hear what I have to say about what it takes to get their price reduced.
Have you called any of Justin's expired listings today?
I haven't seen any adjustments yet. But honestly, I don't really look at the previous. I look at the listing office to make sure I'm not calling on my own, because that's always fun. I've done that before. Jeff, you're our agent. Yeah, you want to avoid doing that. So I look at the office. I don't really look at the agent name so much. Yeah, somebody asked a question, do you call expireds from your own office? I don't, but people do. Listen, the listing contract is with the brokerage. Some do, I don't. I just never have. I just feel like there's plenty to go around. Now, Justin's, I'll call on his.
Okay, how many properties do you have? 4. Okay, and are you looking to sell all 4? Okay, awesome. What size are the lots? Are they in a subdivision or are they individual lots? Okay. All right, good. Okay. All right. No, that's great. What's important about waiting until spring? Oh, you're still trying to determine what you're going to do with them. Oh, nice. Okay. What was it? A brand new new construction? Yeah, interest rates and everything like that. No, that's great. Now, are you a builder or are you just selling the property? Okay. Awesome. Okay. Is that what you did with the other property that you recently sold? Did you build a new property on it? Nice. That's exciting. How long have you been doing that? Nice. Okay. So just last year, how do you feel it worked out for you? Yeah. No, the market definitely, because of the interest rates, did affect some of that stuff. And obviously, looking here into the new year, it's looking like things are definitely going to be better. And so, Obviously, obviously the four properties that you are thinking about selling. One of the things that we do, I've been, in the business, for quite a few years, and there's no cost or obligation. What we do is we can actually help you come up with a game plan. I know spring obviously is a couple of months away, but what we find is a lot of people will actually take a couple of months to prepare in advance just to have a game plan. If there was a way I could show you kind of what those properties would be worth and potentially put a plan together, so you're ready come spring, what would stop you from at least wanting to take a look at that for about 15 or 20 minutes if there's no cost or obligation to you? Yeah, no, that's great. Do you already have a relationship with a real estate agent? Oh, you don't? Okay. Well, I'd love to. Okay, wonderful. What was your first name, sir? Okay. And then, is this the best phone number for you, Larry? I can. Okay, great. Well, the email that I would send actually has some attachments and stuff to it. It usually comes out better. What's the best email address for you, Larry? Mhm. You said the number one. Okay. Well, let me. Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah. Tecumseh's a nice town. And right now, Larry, there's obviously a lot of, I think everybody kind of was wanting to wait until after the holidays to start getting back in the mindset of buying and selling. And what we find is if these are going to be lots that are going to have new homes built on it, there are builders and investors who begin looking now to be ready for spring, whereas if you waited until spring to put it on the market, then somebody's not even getting started to start prepping and building towards later in the year. And so if in my conversations I come across somebody who's looking for a lot to build, if we were able to create some type of interest from a buyer before spring, would you consider potentially selling sooner than spring if there was a buyer that would be interested before spring? Possibly. Okay. Do you have a price point on what you're thinking for these lots? Okay. So no price as of right now. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, so I'm with eXp Realty, but I actually have my own team, the Justin Ford Real Estate team. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to do that, Larry, and in the meantime, obviously today's the New Year Day, but sometime in the next couple of weeks, I'd love to be able to even just drive by the lots just to get an idea, because I have a team of 20 plus agents, and this is what we do. We call and talk to a lot of people. We're doing it today, and we always want to know if there's properties out there to be able to match those properties with buyers that we have. Do these have addresses, or are they just like parcel IDs?
Wow.
You will. Okay, great. And then what I'll do is I'll potentially take a drive over there next week to just look at the properties. Is there already new construction around it, or would this just be a totally new development? Have you built any other properties? The one that you built, was it in this? This is the first one. Okay. Okay. All right, great. Well, I'm going to definitely text you my business card. I'll send you an email, and then after you text me those addresses and I look things up, I'd like to go by the property next week and take a look at it. Do you think you'd be able to meet me over there so I can at least kind of walk the property with you? Okay, because I'm gonna my schedule's gonna fill up pretty quick today, as you can imagine. We're talking to a lot of people. What day potentially next week would work for you if we can meet over there, just so I can put a. Oh, you haven't looked at your schedule yet for next week? Okay. Well, I will go ahead and at least send you a text, send you an email, and then what I'll do is I'll keep some time open on my schedule next week for a potential opportunity to meet you over that property. Do afternoons or evenings usually work better for you? Pretty much any time. So like if I put time on Tuesday the 6th, let's say between 1 and 2, as long as everything checks out on what I send you, do you think that would be potentially a good time to meet over there? So Tuesday, January 6th, I'm going to put you down, and then we can meet over at the properties. Are they all 4 right next to each other? Same general area. Okay, good. Well, I'm looking forward to that. So I'm going to put you down for next Tuesday, January 6th, between 1 and 2. I'll get you a text, I'll get you an email, and I look forward to seeing you out there next Tuesday, Larry. All right, you too. Happy New Year. Yep. Bye.
Nice job.
Justin, what's your disc?
What's my disc? 99I and a 99 or a 90D. So high I,
Someone
high
thought
D.
you were an analytical.
You know, I'm not an analytical, but at the same time, you just learn how to adapt a little bit, and you learn how to weave some of that in.
That answer sounded very analytical.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of questions about Google Voice Assist. Are you guys getting any calls where it's asking you to like say your name to get past?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What kind of themes are these? Just icons?
I just skip over those.
Good morning. Yeah, I haven't actually had a ton. I mean, I had a handful. One thing you can notice, so I'm obviously prospecting from a studio, but in Justin's office, you can hear the energy, you can hear the music, you can hear other people talking. Like you really have to try to do everything you can to recreate, an environment like that. Like I know today we've got, Justin, probably between our locations 25 or so agents in, and every time an appointment's set, a bell is ringing, there's high-fiving, there's music, and there is something to be said about creating a prospect. I like to call it a prospecting-friendly environment. It keeps you going even when you don't feel like it. So we can hear when you're talking, Justin. We can hear some of the background noise, and it's a good thing because it's boring where I'm at. You guys are having fun. I'm in a 8x8 box here. By the way, if you guys are prospecting alongside with us, drop your results in the chat. How many contacts so far? How many leads? How many appointments? I want to see how everyone's doing. Also, I know a lot of you are planning on joining us. Justin, we are 12 days away from day 1 of the summit. If you guys are joining us for the summit, drop that in the chat. I want to see how many of you guys are joining us. That's going to be a great time.
And
not only a great time, but
I was
go
going
ahead.
to say, I'm looking outside right now, and it's 9 degrees and snowy. I can't wait for Arizona.
Yeah. This is our last time in Phoenix for a while, too. So for anyone that's in that area, if you're like, man, I've been wanting to get to one of your events, this is your last chance. If you're around Arizona, to come see us in Arizona. We are moving the summit starting in 2027. So we will announce that this year.
Do you want to give any hints?
Hints?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you it's going to be somewhere warm. Okay, so there's a hint. And there's only a handful of places it's going to be in the United States. It'll be somewhere warm in January. So where is it warm in the U.S. in January? That probably was like three or four states. Warm in January, and great resorts, great properties, great ballrooms for events.
Four contacts, one appointment.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, see, I opened with, I like to prove 10 contacts per hour. I'm actually running a little beneath that pace, but it also has a little bit to do what time you start. Had I started dialing, say, like right at 9, my contacts probably would have been higher from 9 to 10 than 10 to 11. But that's okay. I'll make it up in the next hour or wherever. It all averages out.
Deborah was asking what you're calling during what times. When are you going to be talking about your daily schedule?
I could make a note to talk about that. Maybe when we come back we're going to take a brief mindset break in just a little bit. Oh, my daily schedule. Yes, the daily schedule. Well, we have a new daily schedule that we're releasing in Phoenix at the summit. So that'll be covered at Phoenix. But today at noon, I'm talking everything objection handling. But yeah, for those. All right. Listen, sometimes sometimes you don't have your best hour. Sometimes you have 5-6 contacts and nothing. I would say, other than that one appointment I set, I would not rate my hour a great hour, Justin. You know what a good hour feels like when it's just boom at one after another answering. And my contact rate is lower this hour than I would say an average contact rate. But it doesn't matter. I got an appointment set. If I talk to one person and one appointment set in an hour, that's fine. I don't care. One appointment per hour works. So yeah. So I know a lot of you guys are planning on joining us at the summit. Robert Neely, is that Robert out there taking all the expires from us?
15 contacts, 6 leads, 3 appointments set.
Okay. Way to go, Robert. That's awesome. Robert is a great producer in the Detroit market. He sells close to 100 homes a year. He's going to be on stage at the summit. So, Robert, we can't wait to talk to you and hear exactly how you're using the Glover U system at a very high level.
Don Bass, 89 dials, 13 contacts, 1 lead to follow up with.
All right. Hey, that's great. Great number of contacts, Don. That's good. And again, listen, even if you don't set an appointment, you get a couple good leads. Do the math. Your dollar per hour value is highest doing 2 things. Okay, there's nothing else in real estate that you can do that provides a higher dollar per hour. These 2 things, ready? Prospecting and going on appointments. There's nothing else you can do. Paperwork, creating content, videos, social media, nothing compares to prospecting and going on appointments. Those are the 2 highest dollar per hour activities you can do. You can predict. If you prospect 2 hours a day and you set 1 appointment a day, you can predict for every 2 hours I get 1 appointment. You can figure out exactly how much time you have to put in. You can't predict that with a video. You can't predict that with a Canva image. Again, thank you guys all for joining us. I know watching 2 people prospect can be boring, and that's why we hope to get results so that way you can see what it looks like. But not every year do we get great results. And we also like to answer your questions as much as we can as we go through while we have some time in between dials. By the way, I know I've brought up the summit a few times now, and I want to make sure everyone knows what script we're using, so let me just get that up here for those that joined us a little late. And Justin, I'm just going to have you mute yourself for a few minutes while I do this. Okay, there we go. Share. Okay, this is the script that we have in front of us. Even after however many years of doing this, this is still what we follow here. Very simple, very direct, very straight to the point. And you can see the focus is getting them to talk about where they're going. Had it sold, where are we moving to? What takes you there? We open with that because that's where the rapport is being built. You have to understand, no one likes to sell, but everyone loves to move. In other words, they love the outcome, but they don't like to sell. They don't like having the idea. There's a script out there that opens up with, I was calling to see when you plan on interviewing the right agent for the job of selling your home or something. Throw that script away, okay? I don't know, how long that script has been in circulation, but no one wants to think about putting their home back on the market. No one wants to think about having buyers traipse through their house, especially during the winter. But do you know what they will think about? Do you know what they will talk about? Where they were going had it sold, where they were moving, why they were moving there. So I know I brought up the summit a few times. I want to make sure you guys know what I'm talking about when I talk about the summit. So I think the next slide explains what we're doing this January. Next month, just 12 days? Yeah, January 12th we start. Check it out. Here's what we're doing.
You can't wing your way to the best year of your career. And if this year is any indication of what 2026 will look like, you need a plan. You need direction. You need to be in this room.
My business has doubled, literally doubled.
It is a game changer. It will change your life. It will change your business. And it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made.
This January, we're kicking off 2026 in sunny Scottsdale, Arizona. And if you're serious about selling more homes, hitting the goals you've been chasing, and living your unreal life, you need to be here.
I'm hitting records that I've never hit before. I'm breaking through limiting barriers I've never had.
This is the Live Unreal Summit, the event that will launch your year with clarity, purpose, confidence, and a plan that actually works.
So many life-changing aha moments. Being in rooms with like-minded agents who are focusing on getting better.
We'll give you the exact systems, tools, strategy, and the mindset required to grow in any market, no matter what the headlines say. This isn't fluff, this is tactical. This isn't stuff agents did 5 years ago. This is the stuff my team and I, and literally thousands of Glover U clients around North America are winning with today.
Do it. It is 3.5 days, action-packed of motivation, inspiration, pages of tactical strategies that I can implement.
With some of the other events that I've been to in the past, it always seems like what's on stage is for show and not for dough. And what Jeff puts on stage is what's going to actually help you make money and be successful in a difficult and challenging market.
I invite you to join us at this January's Live Unreal Summit in Scottsdale, Arizona at the beautiful Westin Kierland Resort.
Better to go big and really take in all the content, all the fun. You won't regret it.
If you want to actually be successful in this business, you need to put yourself in rooms with other people that are successful. If you want to be mediocre and average, keep doing what you're doing.
So the question is, are you going to drift into 2026? Or are you going to grab the reins and drive your business forward? Secure your seat, set the tone for your year, surround yourself with people who are where you want to be, and make your unreal life your reality. We'll see you this January.
Everything we do is about fans.
The Savannah Bananas.
The Savannah Bananas.
Savannah Bananas.
The Savannah Bananas, baby.
One team down south is taking the sport by storm.
But we're trying to create the greatest show in sports.
That's an incredible story. Like, what an American dream.
You got to think differently. Whatever's normal, do the exact opposite. Stand out, be different, have fun, and swing hard. In case you hit it.
The guy in the yellow suit, Jesse Cole.
He's got a goal to bring the bananas not just across the country, but around the world.
I'm Jesse Cole, the owner of the Savannah Bananas and the creator of Banana Ball.
Let me mute myself real quick. Okay, there we go. So everyone's asking, and I'll get the screen share back up because I want to give you guys a special promo, and we're announcing a virtual option 2 today for the first time. Everyone's asking, Jesse Cole, why'd you get that guy? What's the, by the way, for those that are not familiar, here we go. For those that are not familiar, he is selling out every stadium, every ballpark around the U.S. It's pretty crazy what I'm seeing out there. And what I love about Jesse Cole and what I've asked him to share with us is I've asked him to take what he did with baseball, which is otherwise somewhat of a traditional, this is how we've always done it kind of game. And I've asked him to take the real estate industry and to share with us what he would do if he were to reinvent real estate just like he reinvented baseball. And so not only is he going to be doing a keynote from the stage, but we're going to be doing a little Q&A afterwards with all of our VIPs on, okay, what specifically would you do to stand out? Because this guy stands out. Forget the fact that he's wearing a yellow suit. I mean, yeah, that obviously stands out. But what he has done with Banana Ball is pretty exceptional. So for those that join us every day, if you haven't been to one of our events yet, every day we start off with a different opening keynote. And we do that because we got to get the mind right and we got to get the heart involved, right? I gotta make sure I'm warmed up to this idea that I want a better life for myself. I've got to get warmed up to the idea that I want to live an unreal life, as we say here at Glover U. And so to do that, we strategically place keynotes first thing in the morning to get us fired up for the day, to receive the rest of the information and to want to receive the rest of the information. And then throughout the day, it's a 3.5-day conference. Throughout the day, we have breakout sessions, we have one-on-one interviews from the stage. I've got a whole system that I'm sharing from the stage. In fact, this year, for the first time in 3 years, I'm rewriting the listing presentation and demonstrating it live from the stage. So we'll be doing a live listing appointment right from the stage. At our last event, you saw me do a live price reduction call. I'm going to share, I have 10 different pricing handlers for agents to use, and I'm going to be sharing those live from the stage as well. So every day we have a different lineup of not only things that I'm sharing, but absolute people that are killing it in their field using our system at a very high level. So if you have not been to one of our events and you want to come check us out, you can join us in person. Flights are still cheap. We had somebody book yesterday. I think I saw someone book from Dallas. I saw someone book from Denver, and I saw one come in from Cleveland. So flights are super cheap right now. And if you're looking to get out of the cold, like people are like, Jeff, why'd you pick Phoenix? Well, hello, I'm from Detroit. All right. So I'm using every reason in the winter to get out of the cold. And so anyways, you see there on the screen, we did that deal for you guys. That's pretty good considering I think that was like our tour stop price, or maybe $20 more than our tour stop price, which is usually the lowest you can get. So if you use the code NYD200, that should get you $200 off. However, there's a catch. It's only good for today. All right, so you got to make sure you make your commitment today. It's the first day of the year. It could be the most important decision and the biggest decision you've made, well, for sure all year since it's the first day. But when you look back at the end of the year, you might say that was the best decision I ever made. I can promise you at our events, we'll never let you down. You are going to be surrounded by people who are where you want to be and are chasing what it is you're chasing, but they're using our system at a very high level to do so. There is no other real estate coach in North America that is selling as much real estate as I am. That's probably the biggest differences between other events today. I know you have choices. There's a lot of great choices out there, and none of them are willing to get in the trenches. Go live on Zoom and prospect with you? Are you kidding me? I would put myself up against anyone who puts on events today and say, let's get on the phones and call sellers. In fact, let's go on appointments right now. And so anyways, if you can't make it in person, we are announcing today, you guys are the first to learn about the virtual option. Virtual option is good because you do get all three main stage discussions, but you don't get the breakouts, you don't get the networking. We have a VIP lunch where we ask questions of the keynote, so you miss that stuff. But everything that happens on the main stage, you get access to it. And it's a 3.5-day conference, and the main stage is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So essentially, the 12th, 13th, and 14th of the event is everything that takes place on the main stage. You get that live streamed as it's happening. So you can go to gloveru.com/summit to get your virtual ticket, or you can scan that. That'll take you there as well. If you can't join us in person, we very much respect you joining us from the comfort of your home. And what I would tell you, if you had to pick between the two, getting there in person is always going to be better than watching it on a laptop, because it's the conversations, it's the camaraderie, it's the role play partners. We do a lot of social media and video strategies, so finding video play partners. Those are things you can't do via live stream. You'll find role play and video play partners in person if you can make it. And you'd be surprised, honestly. In fact, here, I'm curious. I want you on this mindset break. I want to know, and drop this in the chat. Just humor me, please, even if you're not coming. I'm just curious. Drop in the chat what the cost of a flight is round trip, all right, the cheapest flight from your city to Phoenix for the 12th through the 15th, or maybe put the 11th through the 15th. Obviously, you'd want to come in a day before. I want to know, from your hometown to the summit, I'm just curious. And listen, I'm not talking like Delta first class, like, maybe Spirit, maybe Frontier. You'll get there. I don't know if your bags will get there, Southwest, whatever. But I want to know what flights are looking like right now, because at last check, most cities were like $500 or less. And if you can fly anywhere today for under $500-600, that's a huge win. You guys know I'm traveling all over, so the airport code is PHX. You'd fly into Phoenix. So what is it? I'm curious. From Cleveland to Phoenix. What is it from New York to Phoenix? What is it from Florida, Orlando to Phoenix, Fort Lauderdale to Phoenix? Drop that in the chat. I'm curious. I want to see that. I'm going to check these out on the Mindset Break. Justin, anything you want to say before we go to Mindset Break here?
Yeah, guys, this is all about consistency, and the more you're consistent, it's really called the law of averages. The numbers pile up, and so, make a commitment to do this daily, and you'll have more appointments than you can handle.
Justin, I know you've been coming to the summits and retreats for years as an attendee, and I know you obviously bring your agents with you now as well. So prior to being a coach for Glover U, why did you plug into these events? What was the reason when you grew up in my world? So why would you still go to these events if you already know what Jeff's going to say?
Yep, because it's this what we learn and the skills that we learn and the information we learn. I almost feel like you can never master it to the point where you never need it. And so every year it's a refresher. Every time you go, there's something new, there's something more. And for me, for the period of time that I was unplugged and not plugged in, my numbers were down. And the minute I started plugging back in and coming to the events, I was able to not only get more excited, but connect with other like-minded people and take legitimate stuff away from these 3.5 days. And I still do, even as a coach. Every time I come, I'm coming back with new tools, new resources, new ideas, new strategies to take my business to the next level and my team to the next level. And so it's an absolute no-brainer.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you saying that, number one. And I know you're not saying that just because you're a coach. You truly live it. You're in the trenches. You're using the system. Your agents are using the system. And, being in an environment, you really can't put a price on being in an environment where you're surrounded by people who want the same things that you want and are using the same system that you might be using or attempting to use. And that's obviously the Glover U system that we're referring to. So, Justin, we're going to take 5. I'm going to use the restroom real quick. We're going to take 5, and then we're going to get back on the phones for just a bit here. I'm going to try to set one more before we're out, but we're going to take 5, and we'll be right back. See you guys in a few.
fucking with that stuff. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name. They call him Ryan, he's sick and he's spitting fire and Mike got him out the dryer, he's hot. Found him in Fort Minor with top, but a fucking nihilist porcupine. He's a prick, he's a cock. The type women wanna be within rappers, hope he gets shot. 8 years in the making, patiently waiting to blow. Now the record with your notice taking over the globe. He's got a partner in crime, his shit is equally dope. You won't believe the kind of shit that comes out of this kid's throat. He's not your everyday on the block. He knows how to work with what he's got, making his way to the top. He often gets a comment on his name. People keep asking him, was it given that birth or does it stand for an acronym? No, he's living proof. Let him rock in the booth. He'll get you buzzing quicker than a shot of vodka with juice. Him and his crew are known around as one of the best. Dedicated to what they do and give 100%. Forget Mike. Nobody really knows how or why he works.
Welcome back, everyone. Happy New Year's Day again. It has been a fun morning of some dials. It's me, it's Justin. My team's back at the ranch in Michigan. His team's behind him there. And we're dialing away. In fact, Justin, I'm going to get an update of how we're doing. All right, let me see here. Where are we at? I'm going to get an update of appointments set by the Glover Agency. Get us an update, Justin. How you guys doing? He's asking. Let me just drop it in my chat here. Numbers update. By the way, I was looking at your flights in the chat. Holy smokes. I thought I'd see a lot of 400, 500, 600. I was very impressed with how cheap it is to fly to Phoenix right now. So take advantage of those. Go get those flights booked. Take advantage of this $200 off. I will tell you, if there's one thing that you can do this year, because I get the question a lot, Jeff, if should I join your coaching or should I go to your event? Well, my response to that is always get to the event first. And the reason is because from there, you'll have a lot more clarity about what program is best for you. You'll also get a chance to meet the coaches. You'll get to hear from people who are using the Glover U system at a high level that come to, there's a reason why. We have people that have been to 10, 12, however many events in a row since we started doing this. For those that are not familiar, Glover U, we're broker agnostic. I've been doing this although I've been speaking and training since 2005. Our first event was January 2018. And since then, we've had over 600 events if you count the tour stops and everything. And so, when people ask me, Jeff, should I join your coaching or should I come to the event? My response is always come to the event first. Because once you're at the event, then you'll get to see, you'll have more clarity on what you should sign up for, what level of accountability you need. Maybe it's not accountability, but you just need a system. You just need a strategy. And so you don't need one-on-one coaching, but you need, marketing mastery, let's just say, or you need listing mastery or prospecting boot camp. You'll have a much more clarity once you're at the event. And so my best recommendation to you, if you were to say, Jeff, what's one thing? And I know you're going to say, well, Jeff, you're biased. Of course you're going to talk about your event because you put on events. Well, no, I mean this when I say this, and I can get this thing off the screen here. I mean this when I say this. Prior to Glover U existing, real estate events, in my mind, are what put me where I am today. And the word that comes to mind is the word exposure. What I mean by that is if you just stay in your box, in your comfort zone, in doing your thing, and you might be having a great year and great business and all of that, and I get that, but you'll never know what you could have done unless you're in an environment around people who have the same skills, the same talents, the same experience as you, but are either making 2-3 times more or maybe making the same, but they're not working as hard. because they have found a few hacks that we've shared with them, or panelists or whoever, breakout sessions has shared with them. So if you're like, Jeff, what's the one thing I can do in 2026? And it doesn't even have to be my event. I don't care whose event it is. Get yourself more exposure. All right. And I hear people say, well, I'm going to go to my company's conference, and that's a good thing. I believe your company probably puts on a great conference. And the company conferences are very much rah-rah, very feel-good, make you feel good about being at that company. And don't get me wrong, you're going to get great knowledge, and I'm sure they have great speakers. But for us, you have to understand, because we're broker agnostic, we don't have a dog in the fight. This is, I don't care what company you're with. We have one goal, and that is to help you list and sell more real estate. And if I don't help you list and sell more real estate, then you don't come back. So just to put a bow on that whole conversation, in 2026, every single person that's joining us for this live, if you're watching the replay or whatever, the word exposure should be part of your business plan for 2026. And you can make it part of your plan by joining us in just 12 days in January. Okay? All right. So if you are of the mindset, I just got a message here, if you are of the mindset that you're considering coming, okay, just drop in the chat, even if you're not like 100% there yet, just drop in the chat. Oh, do I need to put this on? Thank you. If you're, sorry, can't do anything without this, of course. If you are considering coming, I want you to drop in the chat PHX. That's the airport code for Phoenix. Just drop PHX in the chat if you're considering it. All right, drop in the chat PHX if you're considering coming. It doesn't mean you're committing. Doesn't mean, just drop PHX in the chat if you're considering coming. All right, wow, that's a lot of you. And yeah, I see somebody, going to their company's conference. Listen, 2 committed. There we go. I love it. If you're considering coming, drop PHX in the chat. My recommendation to you is get onto Google Flights, get onto whatever, and book a flight today. Because here's this feeling you have, this motivation that you have from joining us today. It's fleeting, all right? If you want this feeling every single day in 2026, when you join us January 12th through the 15th, I'm going to give you the schedule. You're going to get the plan. You're going to get all the strategies. You're going to get all the social media tools, all the prospecting tools. Justin's going to be there leading several breakouts. He'll be there with Coffee with Coaches. I mean, you really need to put yourself in an environment and get the exposure. That's my best recommendation for you for 2026. I promise you I would not steer you wrong on that. That's what I did as a producer myself long before Glover U even existed. That was my plan. People say, Jeff, how many conferences should I get to per year? Well, listen, I don't want you to be a conference junkie, right? Every town's got one of those. You know the type. They go to more conferences than homes they sell. Don't be a conference junkie. So what's my recommendation? No less than 4, no more than 6. That's what I followed for years, long before Glover U even existed. No less than 4 times a year do you get on an airplane, do you get out of your environment, and do you put yourself in a room where people are doing the things that you want to be doing. No less than 4, but also no more than 6, because we got to get to work at some point. There's no value in having a workbook full of notes if you don't do anything with it, because the week or 2 after that, you're going to another conference. All right, so if you haven't identified your 4 to 6, I suggest you make the January Live Unreal Summit one of them. Okay. All right, Justin, you ready to get back on the phones? Knowing Justin, he's already got a head start going. I know we said we're going to go to 11:30, but we're going to go to one of us sets one more appointment. How's that sound? Or maybe the next 15 minutes, because I know we've got the Vulcan webinar starting here at 12 o'clock. So obviously those are gonna kick us off. All right, let me get my dialer back up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a few text messages to ones that came off the market. So I want to show you what the video messages look like, because I promised you I would do that. And while I'm doing that, if Justin gets a live one, you'll hear him prospecting and having that conversation. So I have found the video text message to be very, very successful, because first of all, it's one-to-one. All right. I would not recommend mass messaging. All right, that is heavily scrutinized. I would not do it. You have to personalize it. It's one-to-one. Okay, so that's the big thing that helps. Every now and again, do I get responses like "lose my number" or "you, how are you texting me" or whatever? Of course, and you just apologize and you move on. But I know there's services out there, and a lot of savvy agents are like, "Well, I'm just going to get one of those services that'll do it for me, or I'm going to use AI to do it." I would not. Okay, that is heavily scrutinized. So I'm pulling up the data right now. I've narrowed it down to an area and a price point that I like to be in, and those are the ones that are going to get a video text message from me. So I'm going to do that in a second here. Justin, again, feel free to unmute yourself when you get a live one, and I will do the same if Justin gets a live one so you guys can hear it. I am going to keep this on, though, because it is New Year's. Oh, we have, I got an update here, Justin. 6 appointments set by the agents at the Glover Agency so far.
We're at 6 as well.
There we go. Maybe the same ones.
Let's do it.
Okay. Hi, this is Realtor Jeff Glover. Happy New Year to you. I'm actually reaching out regarding your home here on Pemberton. I'm wondering if you're still accepting offers on that property. If you are, could you give me a call back? Thanks. Bye. Okay, so super quick message. Open up my text. And sent. Okay, so it's just a video text message. I'm using Vulcan's data for the phone number, and it's a one-to-one message. So, well, Jeff, that's going to take a lot of time, all right? I'm doing this just to show you how to do this. What I normally would do is in between dials, when I come across a good one, what I'll do, and Justin knows this, what I'll do, so let's just say my dial session is going. What I'll do is when I come across one that I really want, I'll pause the dialer, and I'll quickly take this off. I'll hold this up, and I'll do exactly what you just saw. And then I'll send it to him. I'll set the phone back down, and I'll keep dialing. Put my headset back on because there's so much downtime. So I do this when there's downtime. Now, my advice to you is, depending on what type of phone service you have, you probably need 2 phones to do this because, you know, I don't know about your service, but mine, I can't send a text message while my phone is actively in a dial session, and that is usually the case. So right now I'm not in a dial session. I just pulled up my Vulcan data, and I'm using the phone number that's literally just listed on the screen to send this to them. I'm going to send it to the first 2 numbers in case you're wondering. How many do you send it to? I send it to the first 2. So when I'm in the middle of a dial session, I will pause the dialer. I will use my phone because I usually am calling through a landline. Okay, my office phone is what's running my Vulcan dialer, and then my cell phone is what I send those text messages through. All right, so just so you can see how that works out. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next contact, and I'm going to do the same thing. I normally don't have one of these, so that's slowing me down. Sometimes you have too many distractions. Same thing. Hi, this is Realtor Jeff Glover, and I'm reaching out. By the way, first of all, Happy New Year to you. Secondly, I'm reaching out to see if you're still accepting offers on your home here on Washington Ave. If you are, could you give me a call back? Thanks. Bye. Same thing. Text it to the top cell phone number. And the second one. Okay, let me do this one. Hi, this is Realtor Jeff Glover, and Happy New Year to you. I'm reaching out regarding your home here on Greyhaven, wondering if you're still accepting offers on that property. If you are, could you give me a call back? Thanks. Bye. Okay. Now, by the way, if you're wondering, if I probably will do 6 to 10 of these per hour, and I almost always, let's just call it 7 to 10, I almost always get at least one contact per hour response back. Okay. Now I know we're going to be shifting gears to a webinar here in a second. Sometimes they take a while to respond, so it's not always immediate. But if you're wondering, Jeff, what do you say to them? And hold on, let me send this one before I forget. Okay. Send. Okay. Jeff, what do you say to them when they respond with, because a lot of times here's what they're going to respond with. Again, I'll send 7 to 10 per hour, and maybe I get one response per hour, maybe 1 or 2. So if I'm prospecting for 2 hours, I might only get 1 or 2 to respond throughout the whole day. And they might respond to me at 6 p.m. or 7 o'clock at night. But that's 1 or 2 extra contacts. First of all, watch. If you get 2 extra contacts per day times 5 days per week, okay, 2 times 5 is 10, times how many weeks are there? 50. That's 500. There's 52, but if you take a few off or whatever, that's 500 more contacts a year by just getting 2 extra a day. So does it help? Heck yeah, it does. Because if your average, by the way, my average contact per closing today is like 27 contacts to a closing. Hello, do the math on that. How many times is 20, just call it 25. How many times is 25 going to 500? That adds up. Okay, so, all right, Jeff, what do you say when they respond with, do you have a buyer? Okay, because they normally say, yes, do you have a buyer? And by the way, Justin, if you get a live one, feel free to stop me and unmute yourself. Okay, because I've paused my dialer for this talk. So if you get a live one, just keep going. Jeff, what do you say when they ask, do you have a buyer? Okay, my response in a text is, haven't seen your house yet. What's the best number to reach you on? Haven't seen your house yet. What's the best number to reach you on? Now watch. I'm sorry. What's the best number? What's the best time to call you back? I already have their number. Obviously, I'm thinking of email. Scratch that, okay? Because yes, do I send these expires in email? Yes. So let me back up a second. Every single one of them gets an email that says subject line, I was wondering, ... And in the body of the email, if you're still accepting offers on your home on blank street, subject, this is for email now. Sorry to shift gears, but I confused myself, so I want to back up and explain why I said what's the best number to reach you on. If I have an email address, even if I have a phone number, I still ask what's the best number to reach you on. Because just because I have phone data doesn't mean that I'm going to get the right person that I'm emailing. So I always ask what's the best number to reach you on and via email. If it's via cell, what's the best time to call you back? And I'm not looking for them to say, well, what do you want? I'm just trying to keep the conversation going. All right, I'm just trying to get some dialogue there. Remember, I only need 1 or 2 extra contacts per day from these. So when they say, well, do you have a buyer? Okay, what's the best time to reach you? Haven't seen your house yet. What's the best time to reach you? That's if it's text message. If it's email, do you have a buyer? Haven't seen your house yet. What's the best number to reach you at? Okay, so if it's email, I don't have their phone number, or even if I do have their phone number, I want to make sure I have the right number. So, haven't seen your house yet. What's the best number to reach you at? Sometimes they give you a phone number, sometimes you don't. Sometimes they tell you to fly a kite. Sometimes they say, when can you come out? It doesn't matter. A contact is a contact. All right, so I wanted to show you what it looked like to do one-to-one texting. I wanted to show you what the video message looked like. All right, you guys saw that just to kind of show you, what they're going to see on their end. And you obviously already saw it, but here's an example. Hi, this is Realtor Jeff Glover, and Happy New Year to you. I'm reaching out regarding your home here on Greyhaven. Wondering if you're still accepting offers on that property. That's it. No special. I mean, I'm obviously normally doing this in my office, right? Oh, sorry. It's playing through here. Wondering if you're still accepting offers on that property. If you are, could you give me a call back? Thanks. Bye. Hi, this is Realtor Jeff Glover, and Happy New Year to you. I'm reaching out regarding your home here on Greyhaven. Wondering if you're still accepting offers on that property. If you are, could you give me a call back? Thanks. Bye. Super simple. All right. And again, Jeff, you send 10 of those and you only get 1 response? Yeah, sometimes 2. Well, doesn't that take you a few minutes? Yeah, but here's the deal. When you're prospecting and when you have the dialer going, you have downtime. You have time to do this. And so I just quickly take the headset off, toss it this way, hold my phone up, and I do that in between. If I get an extra contact or two a day, that's all I need. And here's what's great about those contacts. They responded to me. They already got the message. They already saw me. They already heard what I'm calling about. So they tend to be higher quality contacts. Go ahead, Justin. You can unmute yourself.
In 2026. You are? Okay. And I see that this is this a vacant land parcel, or is there actually a house that's built on it? Okay. Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow, sounds beautiful. So it had two houses on it. You tore both of them down, and now it's prepared and ready to build some more houses. Do you have it already parceled off, or is it just the one big piece? Nice. Wow.
Is he?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that would be nice. Yeah. Right. Okay. 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 Well, that makes sense. And so what I hear you saying right now is that the property is zoned residential, but it could be converted to commercial? Okay. Ah. Oh, they did. Okay. Well, that's good. Right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
That cornbread was good too, Vince. That was banging. I usually don't like it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, what for
Oh, that makes sense. That's great. I appreciate it. That's good information. And so let me ask you this question. So I know the property looks like was on the market for a little over a year. What do you think stopped the property from selling? Bad realtor. Okay. Yeah, there's unfortunately a lot of those out there, and that will in fact, cause the property not to sell. What do you feel that the that the agent did that you actually liked? No. Right. I know, yeah. Wow. Okay. That's a lot. Okay. Okay. Well, yeah. 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 Wow. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I can appreciate that, and I would be frustrated as well if I were you. And, at the same time, I'm sure you're aware, sir, that, if all of us agents did the same thing, we'd all get the same results. And the reality is not all of us do the same thing because we all do get different results. And so what will you expect from the next agent you choose? Right. Mm-hmm. Yep. No, I can appreciate that. You definitely want to do your due diligence this time around, because the last thing you want is that property just sitting and sitting and sitting. The good news is I've been in the industry for 20 years. I've been selling now for over 13. I'm a broker, not just an agent. And so I definitely bring some experience to the table that it sounds like your last agent didn't. If there was a way that I could give you a second opinion, show you what we would do differently to help you get this lot sold at no cost or obligation to you, what would stop you from at least wanting to take a look at that for about 15 or 20 minutes sometime next week? Okay, all right. Great. And what was your first name? We actually have a couple different offices within our network. I'm a part of EXP Realty, and I've got a couple of offices within our network. And so the closest one to you would probably be our Mount Clemens office, and so not too far from where you're at. And so so I'm very familiar with the area. We actually sell all across the Southeast Michigan region. What did you say your first name was, sir? Okay, great. And is this the best phone number for you? Okay, awesome. Perfect. Well, that sounds good. And I'm actually going to be in the area on Tuesday between 2 and 3. Would that work for you?
I know half my family.
Okay, great. So I'll put it in for 2 to 3. Give you a call on Monday to confirm it, and I definitely look forward to seeing you next Tuesday, Mark, between 2 and 3 p.m. I'm 43. Do I sound younger?
I'm learning. I'll get there.
Yeah, no, I'm actually a grandpa, so I'm not too young. I've got 2 grandkids, believe it or not, so I think that qualifies me for not being young anymore. All right, cool. Well, Justin Ford, F-O-R-D, like the car. I'll send you a text message with my business card, and I'll lock you in for next Tuesday between 2 and 3, and I hope you have a great weekend, and Happy New Year, Mark. Thank you, sir. Bye.
Nice job, Justin. Just in the nick of time, my friend. I love that. Congrats to you. Justin, anything you can tell us about that one?
Yep. So coming into the second call session that we had, I shrunk the list way down because I had close to 1,000 expireds, and I just went for $1 million plus properties.
Yep.
And contacted this guy. He was on the market for over a year, and the agent that he was working with said she didn't do anything. And he was just open. First he said, I'm going to sell it myself. Well, you're not going to really be able to sell a property like that yourself, but I understand his frustration. So when I started digging deeper on what he was frustrated about, but what he was looking for, he said, hey, if you can do that and show me something different, I would definitely be open to meeting with you. So
yeah, love that. Great job. All right, we had a couple of last minute questions in the chat. What headset do I use? So I like, it's called the JLab Work to Go. Or JLab Go Work 2. I like it because I can quickly mute. Okay, you see this turns red. That means I'm muted. So when I'm on the phone, if I need to mute it real quick, I can just do that. Connects obviously right to my cell phone, which is of course connected to my dialer here. So this is great. I'm a big fan of covering both ears. As you see, Justin has his both ears covered as well. Because I don't need any distractions. I don't want any outside noise. I don't want any distractions. So I'm a big fan of covering both ears, and obviously the quality is good too, and the sound quality on my end and, of course, the prospect's end. Okay, Justin, I threw it up there on the screen one last time. If you're going to be joining us in Phoenix, if you haven't gotten your ticket yet, I'm giving you that code NYD for New Year's Day 200. That's $200 off. It's good for today only. So listen. The last week or so, you've gifted everyone else in your life. It's time to gift yourself. Give yourself the gift of professional development. It's not a one-time thing. It's a lifetime thing. I'm telling you, the amount of exposure that you're going to get will work together. If you haven't experienced it yet, you're going to come up to me at the summit, because I hear this all the time. Jeff, I'm glad you talked me into it. I'm glad you twisted my arm. I'm glad you convinced me to go. You will tell me that at the summit, and I promise you I will never let you down. It's been fun prospecting with you guys. I know a lot of you are sticking around for the Vulcan 7 webinars. I believe I'm your first speaker. I'm up in about 5 minutes. We're talking objection handling at a very high level. I'm giving you all of my skills and ideas around objection handling coming up in just a little bit. It's been fun, Justin. Always a great tradition prospecting with you every single year. Hold on one second. They're telling me something, but I have my headset on. Oh, yeah, so just stick around. You don't need to go anywhere. It's the same link. Same link. There we go. For those of you that joined us this morning, it's the same link. Lots of great speakers today. And I'll be kicking this off at 12 Eastern. And for those of you that haven't gotten on the phones yet, let's get after those expireds. I mean, if you didn't work them today, you got tomorrow, you got the next 2 or 3 days. Let's get after them. Obviously, we're having some great success. Justin's team is having great success with them. We're having great success. You can too. And if you want to get better at this, you see what you need to do. Join us at the summit, gloveru.com/summit. Last time we'll be in Phoenix for a long time. So if you're in the area, come out and see us. All right, see you guys in a bit. Thanks for joining us on New Year's Day. Happy New Year's Day, everybody.